Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Otorimonogatari, but today I'm going to be checking out episode 3, and last time, on episode 2, Nadeko started taking orders from her newly found evil snake friend, and well, it's not exactly a good idea to be following the will of an evil snake god, but I suppose she has her reasons. His first command was that she start looking for his physical form, his body, which is somewhere that he can't specify. He can't give her even one detail about his body, let alone where it is, and she's kind of just left wandering aimlessly, hoping that she can find it. The snake did say that he would, vibrate like a phone once he was nearby to it, but I think he's lying about that one because he had a false alarm where he started vibrating near a sandbox, and after she dug it up and found nothing, he's like, "Oh, sorry about that. I guess my energies are just dispersed or something." Yeah, right, dude. And all this that Nadeko is doing, she said it's because she feels guilty. She blames herself, and she thinks she's got all the bad stuff coming right towards her because of what she did during her arc, where she was hunting down those snakes, cutting them up into pieces, and pinning them to the tree and all that. But honestly, I don't think she needs to feel that guilty. What she did, sure, it was bad. It was bad, right? I mean, you don't just want to cut up innocent snakes and pin them to a tree, especially unnecessarily, as it turned out, but I don't think she needs to do this much in order to redeem herself. I mean, she already got physically violated by a bunch of other snakes after the charm activated on her, so I would think she's probably paid enough, but she doesn't seem to think so. And she's so determined to make amends for this that she's even willing to lie to Araragi multiple times, to his face even, regarding this stuff, and that is just sheer determination towards her goal. But hey, she's a kid. She's young, she's impulsive even, apparently, because anytime something goes wrong, she just seems to dive headfirst into the nearest way out and just forget about the consequences of that. She even said in episode 1 that even if she knew the consequences, she would still do it, so honestly, I question her decision-making skills. Just in general with Nadeko, she seems to be unwilling to seek help from others to get her out of trouble, because even when she was first cursed by those charms, she didn't, approach Araragi or anybody else about it. She tried to solve it on her own, which only made it worse. And now the exact same thing is happening again, so I think she just needs to grow and learn to try to get help from other people, and know that it's not necessarily a burden upon them to ask, but in this case it's a little different because she feels guilty, so it's just a multifaceted issue here with her, but oh well. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes today, shall we? Let's go, baby. Well, Nadeko went nuts. Just freaked out in front of her entire class like that, tearing them down for everything that they were doing. I was having a hard time even following what she was trying to say. I'll have to look through that one again when I'm less shocked about it. Just cause, ouch, that was sudden. The thought did cross my mind that it might have been the snake possessing her for one brief second, but I realized that wouldn't make much sense and it would undermine any purpose the scene would have. And yeah, it was not him who did that, it was just his presence loosened her tongue, so to speak. And not to mention the fact that her usual defense mechanism was failing her. She had nothing that she could do to escape. She couldn't, hide under her bangs so that they couldn't tell what she was doing. They could see right in her face that she wasn't actually being troubled too much about it. And she tried to fall back on her usual "I'm sorry" mechanic, but something snapped from within and she went off instead. And then there was that whole discussion in the beginning about her being in love with Araragi, and about the consequences of that she maintains being in love with him even though he's unattainable, because it just makes things easier. She doesn't have to try anymore. She doesn't have to worry about falling in love with somebody else and having to actually try to be with them, because with Araragi, it wouldn't matter how hard she tries, she can't have him anyway. But if it was someone attainable, she'd have to do some work. One would easily argue that she's not even in love with Araragi anyway. It's really more infatuation than love. I would say that just seems obvious. I'll probably need more time after seeing the last episode of Otori before I can fully analyze the depth of this, but I've seen numerous comments so far talking about how there are lots of people who hate Nadeko. Like, they despise her, either just as a character or as a person. They're not fond of her. And so far, I can easily see why some people would, with a lot of the way she acts and presents herself, but hating her as a character, I don't think I necessarily agree with. Not that I don't think it's justified to, but I personally don't hate her, honestly. I need the full picture. I need the full picture before I can fully analyze how she is as a character. And when it comes to this episode overall, I would argue that this is one of the strangest in terms of how it was structured, you know? It was one of those more dialogue-heavy episodes with a lot of people talking to Nadeko about her, analyzing her as an individual, and there's not much I can really add to that when it's happening, at least not for me personally. And then everything came to a boiling point when she freaked out on everybody, and she was talking fast. She had a lot to say. There was barely any time to keep up, but it's pretty easy to at least get the gist of what was going on, in that, well, she hated those classmates, she hated that teacher. She was, tired of them putting off everything onto her and everything like that, assuming things about her because she was the quiet kid. Everybody does that. This isn't, it mirrors reality a lot. People make a lot of assumptions about the quiet kids, and it can often result in a lot of resentment. It's weird that Nadeko in general doesn't seem to want to be responsible for stuff, yet at the same time was trying so desperately to atone for things with the snake. It's interesting because otherwise she doesn't like, people putting stuff on her to do them. She'll just ignore them and then not do it. But when the snake comes out and tells her to do something, she just does it. She doesn't feel at all guilty about not partaking in things that her classmates or her teacher asks of her. But the snake god? Yeah, I'll take orders from that guy. Could it perhaps be because she feels like she has something to gain with the snake, that the snake can give her something? Maybe she was suspecting that as much. Like if there's a theme of her being, self-serving in many ways, that could be it? Yeah, this episode left me with a lot to think about, and it had some of the most thrilling vocal performance that I've seen yet in this. I mean, I have no doubt that was the same voice actress, right? Because she just killed it in those scenes. Man, the range. And she just sold just how done she was with everything. I could totally buy that that's what she sounds like when she's going off on people like that. But for now, I think I'm just gonna call it here and let these thoughts process in my mind a little bit. Maybe go back and check out some of those scenes again. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Let me know what you thought of the episode as well. Any additional analysis would be great and helpful to me. I always appreciate that. Been getting a lot of interesting comments on this arc so far. People have had a lot to say. But since next time is episode 4, the finale, where Araragi's having to face her about how he's never going to share her feelings for him. Yeah. Medusa time. Can't wait. Can't wait to check it out. And I hope to catch you guys there. But till then, I will see you guys later.